So let's see what Trump says about what happens if Hamas decides not to disarm, or if they don't bring back the dead hostages that they said they were going to bring back. Trump's not playing. And the world understands right now that Trump is not playing. He wants peace, and that's it. Let's see.
They're going to disarm, and because they said they were going to disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
How will you do that?
I don't have to explain that to you. But if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games. Okay? Now, we did something monumental. We got the hostages back. That was the first thing we had to do. Above all else, get the hostages back. Now, they misrepresented because we were told they had 26, 24 of dead hostages, if we can use those terms. And it seems as though they don't have that because we're talking about a much lesser number. But that's a very tough subject. I want them back. That's what they said. I want them back. Also, they said they were going to disarm. And
one of the main differences between a civilized society and an uncivilized society is the way they treat their dead. America, Israel, people in a civilized society, they want their dead back. And I guarantee you Hamas could care less if they had their dead back.
Initially speaking, they needed, they did take out a couple of gangs that were very bad, very, very bad gangs, and they did take them out, and they killed a number of gang members. And that didn't bother me much, to be honest with you. That's okay. We had a couple of very bad gangs. It's no different than other countries. Like Venezuela sent their gangs into us, and we took care of those gangs. We have Washington, D.C. is one of the safest cities in the country. It was one of the worst cities in the country if you go back just a little while ago, right? Now it's safe. You can walk to work. Isn't it nice? But we have told them we want to disarm, and they will disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me?
Yes. You say
because everyone says, oh, well, they won't disarm. They will disarm. And I spoke to Hamas, and I said, you're going to disarm, right? Yes, sir, we're going to disarm. That's what they told me. They will disarm, or we will disarm them. Got it?
I saw a meme today talking about Trump and how tough he is. I saw a meme today that said when Obama was president, he was on the phone and he said, let's negotiate. And the terrorist said, we will blow you up. And then Biden was on the phone. He said, let's negotiate. And the terrorist said, we will blow you up. And then it had Trump on the phone that said, Trump said, we will blow you up. And the terrorist said, let's negotiate. Trump knows how to force negotiation. All right, let's see what Eric Trump has to say. Looks like it's going to be talking about a fake news floor in the presidential library.
Can I make a humble suggestion? It's totally out of bounds for me because I don't have a background in this, but can I make a humble suggestion from the audience, because I know the audience wants this? Corporate media has paid you close to $100 million in settlements. Much of that goes towards the presidential library. So please, for the love of God, make the fake news wing of the library sponsored by ABC News and CBS and 60 Minutes, and put their logos right up there and just show everyone who paid for the fake news wing of the library.
By the way, I hadn't thought of that, but that's beautiful. We could do a floor dedicated to, and what we'll do is we'll just roll the 60-minute clip over and over of how they doctored Kamala's interview. And we can roll Charlottesville over and over and over of how they just cut out this little segment and forgot, awesome. 3 words at the end of the sentence. And yeah, I actually think that'd be a great exhibit about how dishonest these people are and how they will lie, cheat, and steal. We can probably put the Stephanopoulos interview in there with JD, with JD from 2 days ago. I mean, that would be a great one. And
yes, we
can remind people who all of these people are. In fact, that Stephanopoulos literally ran the Clinton war room, but now they have to fairly moderate debates. We could certainly put 60 Minutes on there as well when Leslie Stahl said, hey, they did not spy on Donald Trump's campaign, even though they were clearly spying on Donald Trump's campaign. Hey, there's a lot of fodder out there. Believe me, I will make, in honor of Benny Johnson, and because I think it's a phenomenal freaking idea that I'm really upset that I didn't think about myself, I will do an entire floor dedicated to the fake news, and I'll have a little trademark in your honor, Benny. That's a wonderful idea, and I promise I will accomplish that for you. Make no mistake, I will accomplish that for you.
This is the time for cheers.
The Trumps are master trollers. Get this book by Eric Trump, Under Siege. I read one sentence in it. I got it today. It just came in the mail. I read one sentence, and I think he's running for president at some point. I don't know when, but I read the first sentence, and I think he might be running for president. So yeah, get the book. Like I said, I think he's running. I don't know if it'll be the next election, but it might be.
This is the time for cheers, Klein. Yes, thank you. This is the time for cheers. Thank you. That has made my week.
And by the way, there's an area in there for Charlie as well, because you better believe he's a hell of a part of this journey, and he certainly needs to be honored in that building.
Wow. The fake news wing, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here.
If you've ever heard Eric speak, he's phenomenal. So we'll see. Maybe he'll run. Let's see what we got next. Let's see what Bill Maher has to say about the left.
It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party nationally.
I think the Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrats, socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get. The state-run grocery stores, which work so well in Cuba and the Soviet Union and Venezuela, just bad ideas. And again, this ugly streak, streak of anti-Semitism.
Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's Bernie is Bernie is, I mean, he's not a capitalist, you know?
No, he's not. And he's also not president.
But
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
They're going to feature people.
Absolutely. Feature him in every commercial.
They boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
But they'll do it regardless. Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, but
they make anybody into boogeyman. I think it was
just have more weight when it's real. I mean, when you can really show it.
If you say you're going to have government-run grocery stores, then you're a communist. I mean, or socialist, and the Republican Party is going to use that to their advantage. Hopefully. They're not stupid.
Say that they are pro-vaccine. It seems as though Bobby and Trump are casting doubt on the efficacy of the vaccine.
Listen to this. This is Robert Kennedy Jr.'s wife, and she holds her own against these people at The View.
Which makes Americans very nervous. So that's the problem that we're having.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. I understand that. And it's interesting because, I don't know if you saw, 60 Minutes just did a piece about the vaccine injury compensation program.
Yeah.
So people that have had vaccine injuries can be compensated if they can prove it, and they have paid out $5.4 billion.
So lawsuits are being won because the vaccine hurt people. And that's what the crazy conservatives were telling you. And people lost their job because they didn't take the vaccine.
Vaccine injuries. So my question is, can we do better?
Is that all vaccines or just the COVID vaccine?
It's all vaccines.
It's all vaccines.
As far as I know.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay.
But so the question is, yes to vaccines. Yes, they are important, and they are an important part of our health care. Can we do better? Can we make them safer? Can we make them... Can we listen to parents who say, my child got the vaccine and changed, and stopped hitting markers, stopped developing the way they...
Well, when they have the stats over the years, it says you went from 1 in 30,000, now you're 1 in 20. So something has to be looked at. And the Democrats, who's supposed to be the party of science, that tells us we have climate change that's killing the world, they don't want to look at it.
We're developing. Can we listen to people when they say that instead of saying, you're crazy?
I agree with that.
This is Trump talking about the New York mayor race.
Practically, he's never worked a day in his life. And he sort of caught on, right? And I'm not going to send a lot of money to New York. I don't have to. You know, the money comes all through the White House. And if they're going to be sending us stupid policies, I mean, communist policies.
Trump is crushing the Democrats right now.
which is proven for thousands of years doesn't work. You know, we don't have to prove it again. We're not going to ruin one of our great cities because we'll make that great. We will clean up the crime in about 30 days. It took 12 days to do Washington, D.C., so New York is bigger. And Chicago, we've already made a lot of progress despite fighting from the government, but Chicago's doing great. Memphis is doing really great. You know, we have great support there from the political leaders. They said, please come in and clean up crime. And we love it. We've in 1 week, Memphis is so good. It's so much better. We'll have it within a month. We'll have that into a safe city again. And all of these cities, we want to clean them up. We don't like that opposition. But if somebody's going to be a communist mayor of New York, it's a fluke if he gets in. There are a lot of failed people that he's running against. I mean, you have inferior candidates or something, because it's impossible to think that New York City can have a communist mayor. He's a communist. He's not a socialist, by the way. There's a big difference. He's a communist. He's down and dirty. He's a communist. He hates police. He wants to get rid of all police. I mean, how can a policeman? He hates Jewish people, and yet he's got Jewish people supporting him. He hates Jewish people. So it comes through the White House. The funding for New York and for every place comes through the White House. And I'm very generous, and I was always very generous with New York, even when you had opposition there, but I was always very generous. But I wouldn't be generous to a communist, a guy that's going to take the money and throw it out the window, because you're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars.
Trump's crushing the Democrats. He actually said that from this Democrat shutdown, the Schumer shutdown, he's cutting all Democrat programs. He's crushing. They want you dead. The Democrats are lunatics. They have a fringe in their party that's lunatics. And this is their party handing this stuff out. They had a governor that said he wishes the person running against him was dead. It's crazy. These people are nuts. Crazy.
Alyssa Farah, she is one of the hosts on ABC's show The View. She said a while back, I'll quote, if Trump gets...
This is Trump talking about one of the ladies on The View. Watch this.
Israeli hostages out, I promise I will wear a MAGA hat for one day on this show and say thank you for doing it. Your response.
Well, did she put the hat on?
Well, she hasn't got the hat yet.
Who is it? Which one?
Alyssa Farah.
Okay. Well, she used to work for me. So she used to work here. I'll tell you about Alyssa. She worked here. She gave me the most beautiful letter when, the administration, the time came up. The election was rigged. I left. She gave me the most beautiful letter you've ever seen. I was a great president. What a great job. Some of the letters have been quoted. This is Alyssa, who I never thought was very outstanding. I figured she would not make it. And she didn't have a big role here either. And then we had January 6th, and she left after that or before that. But she gave me the most beautiful letters. And then even months after she left, and while we weren't here any longer, she sent another letter, glowing letter, beautiful letter. And then she got hired by The View, and they gave her a couple of bucks, and she changed her view very quickly. I never thought she'd make it. Never thought she had what it took in any way. You know what that means. But she's on The View. But it just shows what a fraud The View is, because this woman gave me letters and statements. She said I was the greatest president in her lifetime. Now, she's not that old, so I didn't consider it a great compliment, but I've had better.
Can we send her a hat?
Well, recently I've had the greatest president of them all. I like that much better.